I don't know if anyone will show up today. I haven't done this in years, but I decided to do it again. This is actually my new old channel. I created a separate profile channel on YouTube. So I don't have any of my followers on my other channel, but they'll figure it out. It's been 3 years. I felt called to start reading again not too long ago, and I just kind of fell into it. Someone local, if you're in the Harrisburg area, check out Midtown Mage. Pretty rad stuff. Put out a call for tarot readers for crystal parties because Midtown Mage does in-home crystal parties if you are local, and even if you're not super local, willing to travel. And they were calling for readers, and for whatever reason, it's been so long, I don't know what it was, but something called me to just send a message, and I randomly did, and we linked up, and so our first party will be February 17th. It's a private in-home party, but we are collaborating so that I can offer readings to those who attend the party, which is pretty rad. And so until I can build things back up to, it's not like I was like super mega popular before, just enough to survive. I am Ms. K, is what you can call me, even though everybody really, if you followed me long ago, then you know my real name, which I don't really care. I don't know. It sounded more mysterious, so we'll go with it. But then telling people that I'm trying to be more mysterious isn't mysterious. But so I am going to offer free mini readings to anyone who happens to find what the hell I was going to say, to people who find me here. And if not, then I will just do a regular like reading for the day or general energy reading like I used to, just to get myself back out there, because it's been 3 years and I was working. It's wonderful. My partner and I bought this gorgeous house. It's 124 years old now, right on the Susquehanna River. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is a magical piece of property, and I hope one day that I can have healing retreats here, even artist retreats, because that is something that's really important to me and it's near and dear to my heart. And that was one of the intentions I had when we got this place, is that I would use the outdoor half acre that we have of beautiful gardens that we need to scale back, and the people who lived here before us didn't do anything with their the gardens that were here, so we have to kind of revitalize them. But once that's done, even before that's done really, once I find myself in a space where I know it's time, then I hope to have some women's circles and just meditations and leaning into the stuff. If you followed me before or you're new here, I don't sugarcoat necessarily anything. I am not love and light. Okay. I am real. I believe in love and light, love and the highest good for all. Of course, that is the goal, but I don't want to bypass. I have a real issue with spiritual bypassing. If you are someone who knows me, I don't appreciate it. And I understand that for some, it is a coping mechanism, and I want to meet people where they are, which my sister reminded me of this weekend when I'm talking about various things that happened in my life. But I also won't lie to people. We are here because we're human. We are here to be human. And rising above our humanity is not why we're here. Some philosophies believe that you want to eventually become one with everything, and that's beautiful. But while we're here, I feel that I have a duty to be in solidarity with humanity and humanity's pain. Because there are things that happen that shouldn't. So, free Palestine, okay? Enough with the genocide. And whether anyone sees this or not, I'm not going to pretend that that's not where, that's where I am. And if you have an issue with me saying things like that, then I'm not for you. Because human rights are everybody's rights, and liberation is important. So I want everyone to take a moment to think about what's happening in the world, in Africa, in the Middle East, with Israel and Palestine. Just take a moment. I don't watch the news because it's too heavy, but I end up hearing things anyway. I'm not much on social media personally, because it's really not good for you. But I'm enough there to keep in touch with people I love the most, and to try to provide a service. So I am in the market for a day job again, which I didn't want to be that way, but it's clear that's the way it needed to be, because Spirit is either pushing me to do this or to just not do that. But I have a house to pay for now, so here I am. And it doesn't make my guidance any less real. If anything, I need people to see what the messy middle looks like. We are all on a healing journey. If you're here, if you find your way here, if you ever see this, if anyone sees it, because I literally have no one on my channel yet. But we're all on this healing journey. We're all trying to walk each other home. And when we look around, we're looking into the face of ourselves, the face of the infinite. And I believe that wholeheartedly, even when I get pissed off and I'm all in my feels. Because it has been a 2024, and I feel like we were saying this back in 2020 because it's the same energy. Although January didn't go as slow as it did for me in 2020. 2020 changed my life in more ways than one, and it changed everybody else's too. The pandemic hit, shutdown occurred. I met my current partner. I did readings for 2019, 2020, and then I dropped off the face of the planet. I was going to bring this back last year at this time, and I did not do that because I didn't have the spoons. I did not have the bandwidth to do it. I was working as a teacher at a daycare, and it was too much. And while I love teaching and I love kids and I know all the ins and outs of behavioral stuff, I mean, okay, not all the ins and outs, but it's too much. I tend to feel like people don't hear me. Oh, my hair's a mess, and I'm sorry. I'm very vain. I'm not vain. I'm self-conscious. I am a Libra after all, but I have that Leo moon. So anyway. So last Wednesday, I went into work as always and sat through the department meeting as always. Super boring because most of it I don't need to know. And I don't need to know any of it now because about an hour and a half after that meeting was over, I was escorted over to the other building in our campus, our business campus, and I was fired. And it was a struggle the whole time I was there. It didn't even make it a year, but it was a struggle. And clearly it wasn't for me. So now I'm here, got bills to pay. And I also feel like this is, I don't know, we'll see. And even if obviously we're almost 10 minutes in, nobody's showed up, and that's fine. I'm not worried about it because this is still going to be out there. So whenever someone sees it, if they do, that's because you needed to see it. And that's the thing about spirituality is time is not linear. And I don't want to say it's a construct, but it kind of is in a sense. So I'm going to set up this really awesome incense bowl that I have. My son and I, who is 8, when I put him to bed every night, we watch videos on YouTube, and I don't know when it was many, many months ago. This really awesome, these shorts came on by a woman. I don't know where she is. Clearly she's Asian. But she puts this, she must be Chinese actually, because it's powder. It's like white ash powder. And like the whole process is her putting it in a beautiful censer of some kind and flattening it, making the sound, because there's some ASMR in there. And then she puts in a mold, kind of. I don't know what else to call it. And then puts the incense, the powdered agar wood, which maybe I've smelled it, but I don't think so. She puts that on there and then, pats it down just enough and then lifts it up and lights it with a incense stick. And then it burns in the shape of whatever the pattern is. So I thought it was really cool and meditative. So I bought one and I'm going to set it up now. And we'll see what happens. I don't know how well my sound is, but I'll review it later. Okay. So I need to take my spoons. It comes with utensils. A little brush for cleaning your excess off. A little tiny spoon to pull out the, you could use it for the ash, but I don't. I'm too impatient, I guess. I don't know what that is, spatula. But I use it for the powdered incense. My powdered incense is not powdered enough, in my opinion. It is Palo Santo or Nakchampa Palo Santo, because Palo Santo is like my thing. It's one of my favorite scents, but it's also holy wood, literally, and I pretty much need all the help I can get. I think everybody does. So I bring out the heavy hitters all the time. So that's what I will be using. So before I went live, I prayed and meditated and cleared my energy. Grounded myself as best as I can. I feel pretty grounded right now. I tend to live in my upper chakras a lot. Most people don't come down fully into all 7 of their bodily chakras. Semi-present, and that's just, takes a lot of practice through meditation or, whatever methods you choose to use. I have to be very intentional with it and meditate and consciously choose to come into all of my physical body. But I get triggered like everybody else, and then I completely disassociate and jump out, which happened to me last Wednesday. After I lost my job, I was just in so much shock, even though it wasn't shocking either. It was just like, wow, I can't believe that actually happened, because, oh my God, douchebags. But I pretty much just disassociated the rest of the day. And then I was fine by the next morning, because I'm learning and growing. And I'm not going to pretend, you have a lot of spiritual people out there who are giving you love and light, and that's good too. And I definitely have that. But I also have the real shit. Because I don't think there's ever any point where we're not human anymore, or feeling. And I know for me personally, there were times when I just, if you don't know, I'm neurodivergent, autism and ADHD. And I always thought that there was something wrong with me, because my emotions are so strong and I feel things so deep. And nobody ever seemed to feel that way when I was young. And it's very isolating. And when you just know that there's something, and you just feel and see things that other people don't necessarily feel or see. Some of that I think is because of the differences, just in general, but some of it could be, childhood trauma. But also some of it's just that I don't know, there's just something. All of my very, very, very close friends are all women, and they are all the same, just like me, ADHD, autistic, neurodivergent in some way, and we all have had the same experience in life. And I feel like, okay, it seems to be a thing, but that's why I feel like it's important to share the reality of the healing work, spiritual or otherwise. I do go to therapy on a regular basis. It is very important for my functionality. I don't know, for me to be the best me that I can be, I have to talk to a professional. But not everybody has the luxury of that. And I recognize that even, now I'm back on medical assistance, so yay! But not super healthy drinking, very caffeinated diet beverage. But yeah, so I think it's important to show what the work actually looks like. A lot of times you see the beginning when somebody's an absolute fucking train wreck. And then you see the aftermath when they're in a good space and they're all like, I'm healed. You are never healed. You can be more healthy and more healed, but I don't personally believe that you have ever reached the destination, because there is none. Like my name would imply, the living journey, I do think it's a living being thing when we do and make these decisions and when we walk down this path. And not many people do it. I mean, like, there's community of spirituality and there's all kinds out there, and whatever works for you works for you. Okay. As long as it's helping you become a better person. If it's increasing your empathy for yourself, but also for others, for giving yourself grace and giving it to others. Because ultimately, in my belief, is that we are all the same. Like, in the sense that when I am having a conflict with somebody, they are me. They are the universe experiencing itself, and we are experiencing each other through whatever. And conflict tends to teach lessons. And apparently, I am someone who needs really intense shocks to get my attention, so that I look at my wounding and work through it. But I am getting a lot better with that. So that's ultimately what I'm trying to say, is if you stay at it. I didn't think I'd ever be here. I am a recovering alcoholic. I just had 5 years sober on 1/11, which is super weird because I didn't plan it to be, but that number, it was just that I had had enough, and that was the day that I'd had enough, and I went into treatment. So anyway, I'm yammering because I am good at talking. I'm going to set this up. I've already cleared with Pello and some energy stuff, but dig out my incense powder. So regardless of what happens, whether someone sees me or not, just put out the goodness into the universe. And what is meant to be yours will be yours. I mean, you can't just sit around and do nothing, but choices every day, and I'm choosing to not be a negative Nancy all the time. I choose authenticity. That's the word I was looking for. I'm not saying that makes me better or worse than anyone else, because it absolutely does not. I'm a shithead. also a shithead who gives a shit. What the fuck's wrong with me? It's so weird. I swear a lot, okay? When I said I was like kitchen table, down to earth, which is really interesting because I am one of the most like optimistic-y type of people, and I don't understand when I don't. So part of being me is like this eternal naivete. Even if someone is lying to me and I know it, because the words coming out of their mouth are not their intention, I almost always have to believe it. But it's like a weird doubt, but it's more than that. I mean, once I know, then I'm like, well, you're a liar. But it also feels really awful saying that, even if it's true. Because I don't like dehumanizing, and sometimes it's a bit, like when you call somebody a piece of shit. I don't really like that too much, because that is taking away their humanity. And maybe they are really crappy and they're doing super shitty stuff. And they can be awful, awful people, but at the end of the day, they're still human. And but again, hey, I'm human too. All right. I'm gonna put too much extra on here. I also realized I should put this on my regular Facebook profile. What in the universe? I feel like I didn't do this right. Just whatever. You guys get to watch me be stupid, which I don't mind at all. And if someone shows up and I'm still being dumb, hey, you get to watch me do it. Or in the aftermath of it. No, oh my god. That's not a new location, man. I'm just incognito. So I'm trying to get the right link so I can put it on my other page. Now I'm just trying to get, I put way too much of this incense on here. Whatever. I feel a very strong pulling. So I do feel like something is tugging at me energetically. Like it's in front of me, like pulling me forward. But not in a pleasant way. It's just, it's almost like a dragging. I bet it's the universe trying to get me to do my shit. So here we go. I'm going to do a reading in about 2 seconds. This will be a general reading, and either it will be for someone specific or it will just be general for today or whenever it is witnessed. Like this bad boy. I always feel like I want to crack my neck. Sometimes I just turn my head and it's like, that was not very successful. All right. Got all my incenses going. Clearing my physical space. I don't have set up like I used to. I have my desk. As you can hear me rolling around. And you're going to be able to see part of my messy living room. I really don't care. So, tough titties if it bothers you. I'm not trying to be some slick ass whatever. All right. So, actually, before I even started today, I really wanted to pull from the Visions of the Soul deck. This was given to me by my beautiful soul sister, Kim. We tend to be on the same path. We've lived kind of like parallel lives. Like if it happens to her, it happens to me, but in a slightly different way. It's totally crazy. And it's like that with pretty much everyone I know that I'm very close to. Okay. I do need something. My throat hurts. I have a dry mouth. So I'm going to, I'm like an old lady. I'm going to have my Werther's Original hard candy. But I ain't gonna lie, their coffee flavor is pretty slamming. So I want to, these are meditation and portal cards. They're absolutely stunning, first of all. I mean, most of the decks I have are just absolutely gorgeous. If you can see that. I know everything's reversed and it's weird for me. I gotta get used to it. And this is actually a card that I pulled for myself 2 nights ago. The Well of Dreams. 10. It's completion. And I know that I'm completing something. In my personal life, there's a lot that's in flux. I'm in a liminal space is how I've been putting it lately. Don't know really where I'm going, but hopefully I'll figure it out. So I am going to pull one card from this for, it's weird, whatever the general collective energy is right now. There is a very strong death and rebirth for most everybody right now, whether you are aware of it or not. It's pretty heavy. Sure you wanted to see that. All right. Ask for a card for current energy. For the collective. Ada, you absolutely may ask me a question. I am going to pull this card for the collective right now. If you'd like to stay, go ahead and type your question and I will do a mini reading for you. These are free, as I said. By the way, thank you so much for joining, Ada. I appreciate you. I wonder what pulled you in today. Well, I can certainly read the energy around that, okay? And regardless of whether it is happening to you or not, that is a real fear. And I appreciate you trusting me with that, first of all, sharing that. But also, I'm sorry that you're going through that. That's hard. I know. All right, so this is for the collective. And this is the vision of the soul. There's just a theme to every card. All right. That's it. So right now is Yin Yang 17, which breaks down to an 8. It's like we have choices right now, and it's really complicated. It's not complicated, but it feels that way. We have to balance within ourselves. And it's like, at least for me personally, I know this too, but I feel like I know when I talk about myself right now, I am not talking about just me. I think it's so many of us. We have these choices in front of us, and we just don't know what to do. That is the liminal space. But I feel like it's there in the pausing and the not knowing what to do, that you're supposed to rest. Because we're supposed to be in that space. We're supposed to float in that uncertainty. I think it's really important to stay there. Because I feel like there's a lot of healing that can happen in this space where we are just sort of allowing ourselves to not have the answers. I know that everything will be okay. But let me read the intended. So this is the card. Divine Union, Yin Yang. We really do have, I don't even know if it makes a difference what you choose. I don't know if you've ever been in a place in your life where you have choices, like between one thing or the other, 2 or 3 choices, and not choosing is still choosing, but you don't know what path to take, and you know that both paths are fine. Just, they're both hard, because life is hard, but The outcome always goes to the same place. So I don't know. That's pulling off of some weird 2020 energy, by the way. Kind of creepy. But so this is a portal card, I do believe, which, yeah, it's a balance meditative card. So it's less of a portal. Well, no, it is a portal, but again, this is about sacred connection, divine union, integration, healing, DNA activation, balance. With this card, you are invited into under. Wait, what? I'm sorry, my brain. With this card, you are invited into undergoing a sacred union of self. I know that is true for me. When I say healing, I think this is also like these choices are allowing us to integrate parts of ourselves that we don't like, but they're still parts of us. And if we reject those things, we reject ourselves, and that's not really okay. I mean, it's okay that we all go through it, but it's really hard. But if you can do that for you, then you can do it for others. Sacred union of self, unifying all you are from an atomic level to physical, mental, emotional, and energetic level, an activation of your DNA. You are not simply man, not simply woman. You are a spiritual being whose physical body is not permanent nor constant. Its current physical manifestation is merely a fraction of what you are. It is time to integrate all of who you are, masculine, feminine, light, dark, active, passive, into one sacred being. The celestial cosmic beings mirror your yin-yang aspects through their own dance of day and night. One does not exist without the other. You do not fully exist when you are ignoring, resisting, or avoiding the aspects of self you find distasteful or confusing. The Sri Yantra acts as a meditative tool, which you can begin the ritual of sacred union of self. The time for simply being content with the small you is long past. Become the big, all-encompassing you now. And I don't know, man, that also is like so true for me right now. There is a very strong energy for a lot of us right now to be our authentic selves, and that's part of why I'm here right now, is that I am just me. I am not trying to put on a show. I am not trying to pretend that I am polished and love and light only. I am presenting myself as I am. And I am messy. And it has to be accepted. And it's okay if it's not, because then that's just not for me. And I am at a place in my life where I am just putting it out there. Darla, you may absolutely ask a question. Ada is up first, so go ahead and type your question in, and I will get to you after I get to Ada. So for a basic, whoa, geez, did you see that? Holy cow. Right now, if you are watching this, whether it's live or not, we are being called to come into full union with ourselves. Accept all of who you are. It is okay. There are aspects you will not ever like about yourself. But by owning them and looking at them and allowing yourself to hold that part of you that you might not like, you're allowing yourself to be a full human being. And that's really important for everyone to know, that they're whole, but we do reject parts of ourselves, which is rejecting ourselves again. So come back together with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. You're growing and learning every single day. I'm really proud of you. It's hard. All right. Ada. I almost called you Ava. Weird. So Ada, I am going to get to you. Now I am going to look at, I think I already know what deck I want to use. Okay, so I am going to use Moonology for you, which is an Oracle deck, but then I think, depending on what I'm feeling, I'm going to follow it up with the Light Seers Tarot, because the Light Seers Tarot has a shadow side. I typically do not read cards reverse. It's the card is the card is the card. And I don't, other people can read however they want. I don't disagree with it. It's just not something I do. So I choose not to read reversals, but with this deck I do. And I do that on occasion with the Wild Mystic cards. I do sometimes read those reversed because sometimes I just feel it, but usually I don't. So anyway, I'm doing Moonology, and depending, I do feel very strongly that I want to go with the Light Seers Tarot. Okay, so I am asking for Ada. I'm not going to read your question out loud just out of respect for you, just so you know, unless it becomes super pertinent for this. I do know that I have the live chat replay, I think when the video is fully posted after the live is over, but this came out for me. So the card that just popped out for you, Ada, is your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. So do you feel like someone's trying to intimidate you? I feel like there is something that you want to do or accomplish and someone doesn't like it. They don't want to feel small. And you doing what you really long to do is shining a light on the things that they don't want to see about themselves. They don't necessarily realize it because a lot of what we do is subconscious, but I feel like this is to intimidate you, to try and hold you back. I cannot tell you what the right thing to do is, but I can tell you personally, I don't respond very well to that. I will get petty. And by petty, I mean, I will rise to the occasion and do what the fuck I want. Because nobody's going to bully me. You know, it's hard. So, but I can't tell you what you need to do. Clearly, you have that choice. You have the choice to hold yourself back. But what I want you to do is I want you to sit very still with yourself. And I want you to breathe with me. And I want you to bring yourself back to you. If they weren't around, when you feel into this thing that you want so much, oh, that's crazy. It is my regular alarm, but when you feel into yourself like this, when you calm yourself and sit centered with whatever it is that you're feeling, but you breathe. You already know what you want to do, and you already know what the right choice is, and you feel it in your stomach. You feel it down in your gut. Follow that feeling. because no matter where it takes you, it's going to be where you need to go. Do your best not to make that choice out of fear. There is definitely fear, but we can still choose something different. Be afraid and do the thing. So I'm actually going to, that was me feeling into this, but I'm also going to refer to what the actual intended meaning is. First quarter moon. Oh, there it is. So that's a 20. It's weird. I know. I do a lot with synchronicity and number. I just see stuff. 28 goes to a 10. So that's the theme right now. Death and rebirth. So I feel like, what are you trying to end? What are you trying to end? Because you're coming to, that's the choice. It's like the end of the road for, well, of course you want to end the feeling. And I understand that. You don't deserve this. But I will say, what is this feeling telling you? Only you have the answer to that. We all go through these really hard, awful, terrible things. And nobody deserves it. But listen, I've been through some really shitty stuff. Abusive marriage. Listen to yourself. Listen to inside of who you are. You want a different life. You want a different life. You want to escape something. And while technically, yes, you want to escape what you're feeling, that's not what you really want to escape. What you want to escape is whatever is pushing you to choose between two things that you don't want to choose. You don't want to be forced into that, because that is not fair. So, okay. Who are you going to choose? Yourself? Are you going to choose your health and your happiness? There could be some challenges coming your way, but they're just the universe's way of testing you. The first quarter moon calls you to face any hurdles with confidence. Damn it, go get your fucking life back. I don't have the answer. I don't know what to tell you to do, but I will tell you that if there is illegal activity going on and you are in fear of your life, definitely try to contact those authorities. But that's scary too. What do you actually think is possible for you? If you believe you can do it, then you probably can. If you spend your life affirming that something is too big for you, then it probably is. See how that works? It's a limiting thing. You're living in fear, and you can stop them. That is not too much for you. You can stop them. I know that you don't want whatever it is. You want them out. You want them to leave you alone. And it feels like you're choosing between your destiny or the path forward for you and these other people in your life that want to pull you in. Do you believe your dreams will come true, or have you secretly already given up? Showing some commitment now, commitment to you, your safety, your future, your happiness, that will help you move forward. What you believe to be true is true for you. So you need to believe in yourself. Believe in you. You are halfway to your goal. You've already made so much progress. And that is why it's like pulling you back in. But it doesn't have to. It is a struggle. And you're tired and you don't want to keep going. So rest for a little bit in safety. Find a place to land for just a moment. Feel your feelings. Let it out. Scream. It happens to all of us. We can see people that we love, and it hurts because we believe in them. A lot of times more than they believe in themselves. People are their wounding, okay? Generational curses are real, and you are trying to break a generational curse. You are trying to get out, and you are so close. And it is okay to be afraid. And be careful with yourself. And these things, these little dramas, what is that? It's from the Celestine Prophecy. Control dramas. You don't have to play into it. You can take the power out of those control dramas and make a choice for yourself by becoming a gray rock. You might feel everything inside, but you don't let them know that you're feeling those things. And if you ever feel like you are actually in danger, then you need to reach out and find a way. Call the authorities, call a crisis hotline, call domestic abuse hotline, whatever you need to do. You can't change anyone else, and you can't make them believe you or care. You have to keep yourself safe. So I actually feel totally, instead of these light seers, which I initially felt, I think we have enough of the shadow. I'm going to pull an Angels of Abundance card, okay? And then one more. So I'm going to do the Wild Mystic cards because these have been really good to me lately. Well, I mean, they are all good if you let them be. I can't tell you what to do because you already know. All right. So, okay, so the bottom of this deck, by the way, I just want you to let you know, your hard work is paying off, okay? No, it's really, really hard. It's really hard and it's scary. But you're doing it. I'm really proud of you. Ada. And I'm going to check. Darla, are you still with me? Because you are next, honey. So I just feel like I want a message from the Angels of Abundance for you, okay, Ada? I feel like Darla maybe has left because I bored them to death, which is fine because maybe they're supposed to find their answer somewhere else. Okay. Just a message for Ada. Message for Ada. All right. really annoying message sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Do you ever just get some cards and you're just like, really? That? It says exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. And really what I feel like that's saying is move your body to release trauma. I dance. I do a lot of, I'm learning East African belly dance, which are very large movements, and a lot of hip movements, which is where women and people in general store a lot of trauma. So move your body to raise your vibration and to help you work this shit out of your body because you are holding on to it. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels. Believe in yourself. When you're in fear, you are being pushed down, and that's what this is. And the easiest way to increase your energy and your vibrations is to exercise, but you want to choose something that's meaningful. That's why I like dance. Just put on a song, dance it the fuck out. Move your body to get your energy up. Meaningful activity that you look forward to, and it becomes its own reward. So that is a message to you as to help cope with what you're going through, is to help release some of that. Because you'll be able to make better choices. When you don't have the stench and suffocation of fear. Some of that is yours, some of it is not. And then I have one more. I want to just see. I feel like that's almost like the advice, but I don't know why. I just really want to see one of these. And I will have to go very soon because my son will be home from school and I have to be outside to get him off the van. Although he tends to get himself out nowadays. He's growing. It's sad. But Ada, I want you to know that you're seen. I don't know if you're still here, but I'm going to keep going. This will be the last pull for you. And if anyone comes back, they do. So as you can see, my mini readings are not so many. This might be only 3 cards from 3 different decks, but I don't fuck around. If you want to know something, I'm going to do my best and be where I need to be. There we go. Okay, well, that was easy. Consume. You got a vulture. Yeah. That's crazy. So the card that I pulled from the Visions of the Soul deck, there's like all this death and rebirth energy lately. The vulture, it looks really scary, I know, but you don't have to be afraid. This card represents the union of life and death, consuming that which has died in order to live. Many mythologies surrounding the vulture are in opposition of one another. While the ancient Egyptians associated the bird with life-giving fertility, protection, and my alarm is going off. There we go. And I got a weird phone call. That's strange. Life-giving fertility, protection, and feminine deities, the ancient Greeks and Romans associated the bird with war, destruction, ill omen, and masculine deities. The vulture card may be asking you to confront your own duality. It's exactly what came up with the Moonology deck. Confront yourself and your fear. This card asks you to take care that vengeance and overwhelming negative emotion do not consume you, and to find balance between your dark and your light. And I hope you find your way back to this video. But if not, you have received the message that you were meant to hear. And I wish you very good luck. Keep yourself safe. And I'm sorry that you're going through something like this. Okay. Darla, I don't know if you're still here. If you are, go ahead and post your question. And if you're not, somebody else can post theirs. I only have a few more minutes left. Is there anyone else? I'm going to hang out for a little bit longer and we'll see what we see. In the meantime, if you are here and you would like a free card pull reading, they're pretty thorough. I mean, I am biased because it's me, but I really believe in helping as much as I can, even if that means not helping sometimes. But that's not what I'm talking about right now. And you probably can't even understand me because I'm mumbling, but I'm going to choose a passage out of one of my favorite spiritual leaders' books. I use this a lot. Richard Rohr is a Franciscan friar. He's a priest in the Catholic faith, but he's not what you would expect. It's not like it's the old desert fathers and mothers. 333. That's interesting because I am talking about Christ consciousness. Is not just Christianity, but that is one of the methods that people follow. But this is the true version of spirituality. I do find it hard to resonate with certain Christian types. If you have room in your heart for condemning anyone, then I just don't feel like that is the energy for me, because I just don't believe it. So I'm going to pick something randomly out of here. That's something someone or all of us or no one, it's definitely someone, needs to hear today or whenever they see it. And it's not going to be this crazy ass long passage that I just... Okay. The universal pattern. I've been talking a lot about patterns. That's why I'm drawn to this. I believe that the Christian faith is saying that the pattern of transformation, the pattern that connects, is always death transformed, not death avoided. The universal spiritual pattern is death and resurrection, or loss and renewal, if you prefer it that way. That is always a disappointment to humans, because we want one without the other. Transformation without fear, choice, wow, that was a weird slip. Transformation without free choice or any surrendering to it. We ordinarily learn to submit and surrender to the scary pattern because reality demands it of us. Christians are helped by the fact that Jesus literally submitted to it and came out more than okay. So he is our guide to the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, as the letter to the Hebrews put it. Each time we surrender, each time we trust the dying, we are led to a deeper level. We are grounded for a while like an electric wire, so there is less resistance and more available energy to trust it the next time. And holy shit, am I going through that right now? So I don't know if that resonates with anyone who finds this, but yet it is still invariably a leap of faith, a walk through some degree of darkness. There is something essential that we only know by dying. We really don't know what life is until we know what death is. Divine life is so big, so deep, and so indestructible that it is able to include death. In fact, it must and does include death. And this is not like literal death. I mean, perhaps. It is more about allowing these things that you don't want to happen, the ending of things, to be what they are. Because it's transformative. And I said this earlier, that rock and a hard place choice. Sometimes we don't want to let go, or we can't see the forest of the trees, and tower moments happen and the universe happens and we get guided in one way or the other. And the harder we fight that, which is our nature, it's okay. It's not like you're a terrible person for fighting it. Change is hard. Change is uncomfortable, especially if it's one we don't want. But I do believe in the long run, it is for the best. It helps us grow. So lean into the discomfort. And with that, I think I'm going to end my broadcast. But I really appreciate those who came in and came out and came back in. I appreciate Ada, who asked for some advice, some guidance from Spirit. And I really hope that you find what you need and that you keep yourself safe. Thank you all. And if you see this later, yay! I am Ms. K. I am the Living Journey. Let's live into our journey together. I will be doing random pop-ups. I don't know how long I will be doing it, but for at least the next 5 days, 4.5, I will be doing random live readings that are free. So share, like, subscribe, like everybody says. I'm not missed content person, but I am very real. So thank you all. Bless you. And I'll see you some other time. Be safe.